Privately owned, rooftop, and embedded solar in South Africa has officially surpassed 8.3 gigawatts. That is a measurement taken directly by the National Transmission Company in June 2026.
What matters here is that 8.3 gigawatts isn't a forecast. It is an industry association estimate. It's a strict record of operational capacity coming directly from the operator of the national grid.
To put that number into perspective, this privately held generation now vastly exceeds the 2.8 gigawatts of operational solar delivered by the flagship public procurement programs. Private capital has quietly overtaken the state's contracted renewable fleet.
Section 1. The architecture of the fleet.
The physical distribution of this generation footprint fundamentally defies the common assumption that we're looking at a residential market. While data shows 675,000 households had solar in 2025, the immense scale of this national capacity sits almost entirely on commercial and industrial roofs. Shopping malls, warehouses, light industrial sites, and commercial farms are driving the volume. For asset managers, that represents corporate capital deployment at scale.
Section 2. Measuring the invisible fleet.
Tracking this uncoordinated rollout means understanding how the grid operator actually measures infrastructure it doesn't own. Because there's no central register, the operator infers this capacity using the residual load method. They compare national grid demand on sunny days against demand on cloudy days. This means the figure is an inference rather than a strict ledger. It can't separate a 5-kilowatt household system from a 3-megawatt distribution center roof, making this highly conservative estimate the best national picture available.
Section 3. The shift to tariffs. The underlying catalyst for this sustained corporate capital deployment has entirely shifted away from crisis mitigation. Load shedding effectively ended in early 2024, yet private commercial installations climbed unabated.
The driver now is tariffs. Successive above-inflation tariff increases have fundamentally transformed solar from an operational insurance policy into a highly predictable procurement decision. For a large share of commercial users, self-generated electricity now sits comfortably below grid costs.
Section 4. Sizing for the balance sheet.
This shift dictates an entirely different approach to how commercial systems are specified and deployed. Sizing a system as a generator replacement simply addresses how long the lights stay on during an outage, prioritizing peak demand matching. But a true procurement decision requires analyzing what proportion of annual consumption can realistically be displaced. It means interrogating daily load profiles, asset ownership, and property life cycles. These are balance sheet questions, far removed from standard installer metrics.
Section 5. The sunset ramp problem. The rapid proliferation of private generation introduces a severe daily structural challenge for the national grid. Because the vast majority of these private corporate systems lack battery storage, their generation abruptly collapses at sunset. This drop in supply occurs exactly as evening peak demand rises, forcing conventional power plants into a steep and expensive daily ramp to cover the shortfall.
Section 6. The utility counterplay.
The national utility is no longer treating the commercial sector as someone else's market. Alongside easing registration under 50 kVA and relaxing connection requirements, they are providing complementary smart meters. More significantly, they have launched a distinct renewable energy business, along with a dedicated offtake program explicitly designed to retain large corporate energy users by selling them low-carbon supply directly.
Because of this, commercial entities now operate in a crowded competitive field. A large energy user must choose between self-generation, wheeled supply agreements, utility offtakes, or hybrid capital structures. Each route carries entirely different counterparty risks and financial implications.
The practical failure in the market today is no longer skepticism, it's sizing. The persistent error at the boardroom level is still deploying capital for a resilience asset when the financial model demands a sophisticated energy supply strategy designed against a real load profile and tariff forecast.
8.3 gigawatts is the result of a market making that decision one site at a time. The question for any large user is no longer whether private generation functions, but whether the capacity sitting on their own roof was structurally designed for the specific procurement problem their business actually faces today.